Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich is set to go on trial in Russia later this month, and millions from the Midwest to the Northeast are bracing for a week-long heat wave. Good morning. I'm Corva Coleman from NPR News, and here are today's top stories. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he is breaking up his war cabinet. He formed it last October to help govern and steer the war after Hamas attacked Israel. But a key member, former Defense Minister Benny Gantz, quit the war cabinet last week. He blamed Netanyahu for failing to create a strategy for the Gaza war. The Israeli military has announced a tactical pause on a key road in southern Gaza. It will last 11 hours each day during daylight hours. This will allow relief workers to get more aid to Palestinians through a key crossing point. An Israeli government spokesman, Shimon Friedman, says the Israeli military will be present as relief teams work.
We're opening this route for them where they can move without needing to coordinate every time, and where there will be military presence along the way.
The Israeli military says it wants to prevent Hamas from taking the relief aid for its own fighters. Russian officials say detained Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich will go on trial later this month. The proceedings will be closed to the public. The American journalist faces espionage charges. From Moscow, NPR's Charles Maines reports Gershkovich, the Journal, and the U.S. government vehemently deny the allegations.
According to Russian court officials, Gershkovich's trial will begin June 26th in the Ural Mountain city of Ekaterinburg. That's where the Wall Street Journal reporter was detained in March of last year. Russian prosecutors claimed Gershkovich was collecting information about a nearby tank factory on the orders of the CIA. Gershkovich and the Journal vehemently reject the spying charges, noting he was a journalist working with official accreditation from the Russian Foreign Ministry. The U.S. government has also designated Gershkovich wrongfully detained and made several offers to the Kremlin aimed at securing his release, along with that of Paul Whelan, another detained American. Charles Maines, NPR News, Moscow.
A major heat wave is descending on a large swath of the U.S., and NPR's Joe Hernandez reports it's starting in the Midwest.
Scorching temperatures will make their way across much of the Midwest, Great Lakes, Northeast, and Mid-Atlantic over the next few days, and the National Weather Service says the punishing heat is expected to stick around all week. Federal meteorologists say it's the first major heat wave of the season, with cities including New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia at risk for extreme heat. States as far north as Vermont and New Hampshire could see highs in the 90s. Health officials are urging people to take precautions to stay cool as temperatures rise. Those most at risk for heat-related illness include young children, pregnant women, older people, and those with chronic health conditions. Joe Hernandez, NPR News.
Wildfires are burning in several states. In Southern California, the Post Fire is burning north of Los Angeles. It has scorched more than 20 square miles. Pixar's animated family film, Inside Out 2, has set box office records this weekend. NPR's Bob Mondello has more.
Talk about spreading the
joy coming to you live in Riley's mind.
As recently as Thursday, Inside Out 2 was expected to pull in about $85 million in North American cinemas. That would have let it just edge past the year's previous biggest opener, Dune 2. But it's blown right through those projections. It will end the weekend with about $155 million in North America, which gives it bragging rights as the second biggest opening for an animated film ever.
Make some noise!
Overseas, the film did nearly as well, even without such major markets as France, Spain, Japan, or China in the mix. In just 3 days, Inside Out has taken in a worldwide total of $295 million, easily the biggest Hollywood opening of 2024. Bob Mondello, NPR News.
You're listening to NPR.